Hello, it's Andy from the Movement Project, and today is going to be my first video in a series of reviews that I'm going to do looking at particular supplements and what effect they have on the body. I'll look at objectively what we know about these supplements, and then I'll form my own opinion on them. Just to let you know that this video is for educational purposes. It's always worthwhile speaking to a medical professional, so your GP, before you take any supplement. The first supplement I'm going to be discussing today is curcumin, and why I think it's a good potential supplement for osteoarthritis. So people who should consider taking this supplement are people who do a lot of high impact sports, manual workers, especially if their job involves a lot of repetitive movements, seniors. This is because osteoarthritis is more prevalent in people of older age. Also rheumatoid arthritis is more common. And lastly, people who are overweight, and this is because there's just more mechanical load on our joints, especially in the lower limbs. So first of all, I need to make a distinction between turmeric and curcumin. So all the research I looked at looked specifically at curcumin, so when I talk about the side effects, potential benefits, I'm talking in relation to curcumin. Now, curcumin is a component of turmeric. Turmeric has that yellow pigment that we use in curries and our food. It is part of the ginger family. Now, curcumin seems to have an inhibiting effect on an enzyme called cyclooxygenase. All you need to know from this is that this is a similar effect of how ibuprofen works, so it reduces inflammation within the body. Therefore, curcumin is extracted from turmeric to create a higher potency supplement. Curcumin is really poorly absorbed by the body, so there's been a few supplements that have been created to try and help the bioavailability of curcumin. This is because obviously there's no point taking curcumin if we don't absorb any of it. So what I found is that the research shows that curcumin reduces markers of inflammation, reduces pain levels, and improves function in people suffering with osteoarthritis. Just a quick note, I did also find research that suggests curcumin has positive effects on antioxidant levels in the body, depression and anxiety. I can always go into more detail in a future video. One of the best studies I found was conducted in 2010. They basically took 100 people suffering with knee osteoarthritis, split them into two groups. So one group was the control group, so they weren't given any forms of treatment, and 50 were given a substance called Meriva. So Meriva is a supplement that combines curcumin with a fatty layer. It's a sunflower phospholipid. This has shown in research to improve the absorption rate of curcumin. So they used a questionnaire that is widely used to evaluate hip and knee osteoarthritis. This questionnaire can be broken down into 3 parts, so pain, stiffness and physical function. And then there's 24 subsections that they can be further broken down into. They also looked at 2 inflammation markers. These inflammation markers have been linked to osteoarthritis in other studies. Now what they found was there was significant statistical reductions in pain scales in the questionnaire that I just mentioned. Also that there was a 27% reduction in the first inflammation marker and 65% reduction in the other. So these participants were given Meriva over 8 months with little side effects. The authors also found that the people who took Meriva had lower intake of NSAIDs, so these things like ibuprofen, and because of this had lower GI complications. Now this is because NSAIDs can have bad side effects on our stomach and our GI system. Also, the authors noted that they had a reduction in swelling, hospital admissions, among other effects of the Meriva. Now, just so I don't keep quoting loads of studies at you, I'm going to put all the other studies that I drew my overall conclusion of curcumin in the description box below. So some people may think, why don't you just take turmeric? Turmeric already contains curcumin in, also it has other positive effects on the body. Now the only thing I would say to this, if you wanted the same sort of levels of curcumin as the researchers used, you'd have to take around about 5 teaspoons of turmeric. Also, research suggests that turmeric is even more poorly absorbed in the gut than curcumin. So the most popular one on the market seems to combine black pepper with curcumin. Now, in a podcast I listened to with a nutritionist called Thomas Deleur, he said that the black pepper inhibits the first screening process of your liver. So what this means is that your liver may end up absorbing more of the substance than you intended to. So this could have negative side effects. So if you're on certain medication, you may end up absorbing more of it than you would normally want. So what they found is that if you combine it with something called a lyosome and a micelle, this is going to be a more safe and effective way to go. So in my opinion, after considering all the research, looking also at things like bioavailability and price, also considering products that contain the lysome and micelle and not the biopeperin, I found a product by NuU Nutrition. I will put a link in the description box below if you're interested. Just to let you know, I'm not sponsored by this company at all. This is just my opinion. The price of the product is £20 and this is for 2 months worth, which I think is a really good value for money, especially when looking at other products. I hope you found this video useful. This is my first video in a joint supplement series. If you do get the product, if you could let me know how you get on, that would be great. Thanks for watching.